The woods had a presence. A hush fell over us as we entered. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy. Shadows danced alive at the edge of our vision. The air grew heavy, filled with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. We were not welcome here. I felt a chill despite the summer heat. David, ever optimistic, grinned. "Perfect for a spooky campfire story," later he said. Lena, usually talkative, shivered. Mark, practical as always, checked our supplies. We pressed on, deeper into the woods, unaware of the strangeness we were walking towards. The map was useless. We had been walking in circles for hours. The sun was sinking lower, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Panic gnawed at the edges of my mind. "We're lost," Lena whispered, her voice trembling. Suddenly we stumbled upon a clearing. There, nestled amongst the trees, was a village. Relief washed over me. Smoke curled from chimneys, promising warmth and shelter. A sense of peace settled over the clearing, a stark contrast to the unsettling woods surrounding it. But even from a distance, something felt off. The silence was unnerving. The village of Varelo was unsettlingly pristine. Cobblestone streets were swept clean. Houses, identical in design with their thatched roofs and whitewashed walls, stood in neat rows. It was like stepping into a forgotten fairy tale, but one with a darkness lurking beneath its surface. The villagers were even stranger. Dressed in simple drab clothing, they moved with an unsettling synchronicity. Their faces, pale and unlined, were eerily similar. They didn't smile or frown, just observed us with vacant eyes. No one spoke. The only sound was the echo of our own footsteps against the cobblestones. The silence was deafening. We were ushered into a house that mirrored all the others. Inside, a fire crackled in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the bare wooden walls. A woman, her face a mask of serene blankness, served us a simple meal of stew and bread. We ate in silence, our attempts at conversation met with vacant stares. The stew was bland, almost tasteless, yet I felt strangely compelled to finish it. A strange unease settled over me. David, however, seemed unconcerned. He ate with gusto, praising the rustic charm of the village. Lena picked at her food, her gaze darting around the room like a trapped bird. I wished we had never stumbled upon this place. As darkness fell, the village seemed to retreat further into itself. The villagers retired to their homes, their windows dark and lifeless. The silence became oppressive. We were given a room with 2 beds, the straw mattresses surprisingly comfortable. Lena had grown increasingly agitated. She paced the room, her eyes wide with fear. "Something's wrong," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "They're watching us. We need to leave." David dismissed her concerns, attributing her fear to exhaustion. But I felt it too, a prickling sensation on the back of my neck, a feeling of being watched. We woke to an unsettling silence. Lena was gone. We searched the village, our calls echoing unanswered through the empty streets. Panic clawed at my throat. The villagers, those blank-faced spectres, watched our frantic search with an eerie detachment. "Where is she?" I demanded, grabbing the arm of a villager. He didn't react, his expression unchanging. His silence was more terrifying than any scream. David pulled me away, his face pale. "We need to find Mark," he said, his voice tight. Only then did I realize Mark was missing too. We ran, desperate to escape the suffocating silence of Varelo, but every path we took led us back to the village square. It was like being trapped in a maze with no exit. The sun beat down on us, our breaths coming in ragged gasps. "We're never going to leave," I gasped, my voice thick with despair. David, his face etched with fear, shook his head. There has to be a way out, he muttered, but even his voice lacked conviction. The village held us captive, its silence a suffocating blanket. As twilight descended, the villagers emerged from their homes. Their faces, so eerily similar before, seemed to shift and change. Familiar features emerged from the blank canvases. A chill ran down my spine. "David!" I whispered, my voice trembling. "Look at them!" He stared at the approaching villagers, his eyes widening in horror. They were no longer strangers. They were our friends, our families, their faces contorted in grotesque imitations of those we loved. "Welcome home," a villager said, her voice a chilling echo of my mother's. The villagers surrounded us, their touch cold and clammy. Their eyes, once vacant, now burned with a possessive intensity. They were here to claim us, to absorb us into their silent world. I remember screaming, the sound swallowed by the oppressive silence of Viralo. But the sound was distant, fading, as if coming from a dream. I was slipping away, the edges of my mind blurring. The last thing I saw before the darkness consumed me was David's face, twisted in a silent scream. We had stumbled upon Violo seeking refuge. We found only our doom. They say Violo appears every few decades, a mirage in the woods, a siren call to lost souls. They say the villagers are spirits, trapped between worlds, seeking to fill the void in their hearts. They say once you enter Viralo, you never truly leave. I can't say if the legends are true, but I can say this. If you ever find yourself lost in the woods and a path leads you to a village called Viralo, turn back. For the village of strangers is waiting and it hungers for your soul.